जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तबिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तबिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तबिंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotee. So today is Saturday. It is 29th of November. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Sukla Paksham, Navami Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events in the calendar today. We are coming nearer to Ekadasi. Ekadasi is on Monday and also Gita Jayanti. That is on Monday. Okay, so for today, no events. We shall go without any Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्ण। In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma, so he is sitting on the lotus flower and contemplating and thinking that who am I and why I am here and why there is so much of devastating water and air here. So, and all the pastimes, how Brahma is going through the different kinds of struggles. So Maitreya Muni describing Brahma's troubles to Vijaya. And Brahma trying to understand the root cause of that lotus flower. He went until the stem of the lotus flower where it sprouts, but until the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, but he could not understand, he could not find anyone there. By the time all his endeavors, the time is taking over his body, which makes the fear in all the materially embodied living entities. Likewise, Maitreya Muni was mentioning to Vidura. Saittamudbhijya tadabjanala nadivirantar jalamavivesh narvagatha tat karanala nala nabim vichinvan tadavindadajaham. So he could not understand. Tamasya pari viduratma sargam. Tamasi apare vidura atma sargam. Tamasi is in the mode of ignorance, or his tamasi, it is the ignorance. In this way contemplating tamasya pare viduratma sargam, in ignorant way of searching for the truth. Vichinvato abhut maham trinemihi, that time factor, that is taking over. Yodeha bhajam bhaymirayanaha, which will take the fear out in the heart of all the living entities. That time. Parikchinoti ayudasya hetihi. So after saying that, Maitreya Muni, and what Lord Brahma has done, once he could not find the truth in his personal endeavors, this is what also we also do. So we are always trying to go here and there for something. Why we are going to school, why we are doing the job, why we are getting married, why we are doing again making the family. And so this is their personal endeavors. Everything is personal endeavors. If I do this one, I will get something. If I do this, I will get something. If I could, they're trying to search for something that, but they do not know what it is. In their own terms, it is the kind of a happiness. If I know that, I will get happy. If I knew that truth something, I will be very happy. So this is all personal endeavors. Every living entity is trying to get into their personal endeavors. So Brahma, he was searching by his personal endeavor. What is the root cause of? Who am I? And he went up the stem of the lotus flower. He could not find. And what he did? So Maitreya Muni says, because he could not find the truth by his personal endeavor, he has returned back to his own abode. That own abode in sense, the lotus flower. And then he has completely controlled his senses and sit in the samadhi. He has sat in the samadhi to meditate upon. Okay, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Likewise, Maitri Muni saying to Vidura in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 8, verse number 21. ततो निवृत्तो अप्रतिलब्धकामः स्वदिष्ण्यमासाद्य पुनः सदेवहम् सेनेर्जितश्वासनिवृत्तचित्तो न्यषेद् आरूढसमाधियोगः Tato nivritto apritilabdha kamaha. Tato nivritto. So he has thereafter, Lord Brahma retired from his endeavor, from that endeavor, searching for the source of the lotus flower. Tato nivritto apritilabdha kamaha. Apritilabdha kamaha. Without achievement of the desired destination or desired results. Apritilabdha kamaha. And then what he did? Svadishnyamasadhya punaha sadevaha. Swadishnyam, and he returned back to his own seat. Asadhya, reaching to his own seat. Punaha, again. Sadevaha, that demigod, Brahma. Tato, tato nivritto apratilabdha kamaha. Swadishnyamasadhya punaha sadevaha. Senejjita swasa nivritta chitto. Senehi is said without delay. Senehi jita swasa, controlling the breathing. Jita swaso. And nivritta chitto, retired, and then chittaha is intelligence. Nishidat arodha samadhi yogaha. Nishidat. Nishidat means is sat down. Arodha samadhi yogaha. In confidence, samadhi yoga, in the meditation on the Lord. So meditation, so by the time he doesn't know who is the Lord. So here, so Lord Brahma, Sukadeva Goswami, in his prayers, without knowing who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of course he knows, but in his prayers, Namah Parasmai Purushai Bhuyase Sadadbhavastana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Sekti Tatyadehinam Antarbhavaya Anupalakshavatmani. He prays to the Lord. The person who is the source of this entire creation, maintenance, and destruction, and who is the cause of everything, Sarva Karana Karan, to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am offering my obeisances. He is not mentioning the name of as a Krishna here. Straight away, whoever it is a creator, maintainer, destroyer, and who is the cause of all causes, to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am offering my obeisances. In such a way, here Brahma, he is meditating on that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of everything. Some people in the different kinds of faiths, they also have got different kinds of reflections. So these statements align. It is applicable to everyone, all the living entities. It doesn't matter. It is a Gajendra elephant. Gajendra also did the similar kind of things. The person who is the cause of everything, and then all the demigods who are thinking. When Gajendra is praying one particular shloka, who is the maintainer? Then someone Vishnu is thinking, and then someone who is different kinds of angles when he was describing all demigods thinking, oh, this is not me, this is not me. But only Vishnu has written to Gajendra. Yes, so here the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will reciprocate with that personality, with whoever is meditating on that Samadhi Yoga, meditation on the Lord. Tato nivritto apritilabdakamaha sudisnyamasadya punaha sadevaham senejjita swasa nivritta chitto nishid arudha samadhi yoga. That translation. Thereafter, being unable to achieve the desired destination, he retired from such searching and came back again to the top of the lotus. Thus, controlling all objectives, he concentrated his mind on the Supreme Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Ramlala Prabhuji to read the purport, please?
Krishna, yes. Can you make a screen correctly? Because I cannot see correctly. Here just. I cannot see. Okay, I can read from my right. 1 second. Samadhi involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all cause, a supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. Concentration of the mind of the supreme is certainly a form of devotional service. To cease from personal sense endeavor and to concentrate on the supreme cause is a sign of self surrender. And when self surrender is present, that is a sure sign of devotional service. Each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so Samadhi here involves concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all. That happens whenever we completely retire from the materialistic activities, the nivrittaha. Nivritta means our dharma is the nivrit dharma. Savai nivrit dharmena vasudevana kampaya bhagavad bhakti yogena tirudatte seneriha. This is Krishna consciousness is in the, it is called nivritti dharma. We have got the raga vairagya. There are two paths. One is the pravritti dharma, nivritti dharma. Pravritti dharma, where it is every living entity trying to enjoy whatever is coming and try to enjoy. Yavat pradakmitmatmana indriyardha. They just only for the pleasures, always trying to fulfill their desires. And then, but there is no end for it. But here in the nivritti dharma, so we have gone some path. When we are going the path which is infinite, and sometimes we understand that, oh, I do not find anyone, I do not see where the end is, and then people return back to home again. That is called nivritti, stopping in their personal endeavors, like Brahma has written back. One has to come back. So instead of searching, there is no absolute. This material world is full of miseries, dukkhalai mashashvatam, and here there is no the source for this one. Vodhamolam adashakam ashwadham prahuravem. The source in the spiritual world, not in this material world. We are trying to set something here in this material world. That's why all our endeavors will go in failure. So that's why who is realizing that truth that there is nothing available in this material world, then he will sit in this samadhi, concentrating the mind upon the supreme cause of all, even if one is unaware of whether his actual nature is personal, impersonal, or localized. So here, irrespective of it, even though he doesn't need to know the name of the Lord, just concentrate the mind on the person who is cause of all causes. In the Sanskrit, that person who is cause of all causes, all attractive personality of Godhead, he's named as Krishna. All attractive with all kinds of opulences. Again here, vadanti tat vidastatvam yajnanam adbhayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sadhyate. And the great scholars, they describe the different kinds of features of the Lord in three stages. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabhyate. First level is the Brahmeti, that is the impersonal Brahman. Second level is the Paramatmeti, localized super soul. Third level is Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is cause of all causes. And then Tashradhana Muniyo Jnana Vairagyuktaya. This is Tashradhana Muniyo Jnana Vairagyuktaya. Pasyanchatmani Chatmanam Bhaktya Shruta Grihitaya. And people who takes that knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhaktya Shruta Grihitaya, from the bona fide spiritual succession, Tashradhanaya, and by with complete faith and devotion, Jnana Vairagyuktaya, knowledge and detachment, Paschintyatmani Chatmanam, and they will see themselves and also the super soul and the relations between himself and the super soul. Bhaktya Shuta Gruhitaya, when they have taken the knowledge and implementing those Vidhi Bhakti, the rules and regulations, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following regulative principles, then they will see Bhaktya Shruta Gruhitaya. The way they have heard, they need to follow those rules and regulations from the bona fide spiritual succession. And then here further Prabhupada is describing concentration of the mind on the Supreme is certainly a form of devotional service because you are giving your mind to the Lord. This is Tad Buddhayaha, Tad Nishtaha, Tad Parayanaha, Gachanti, Apunaravrittim, Jnanidhuta Kalmashaha, everything. Tad Nishtaha. Manomayi Arpitam Siram. Krishna says Manomayi Arpitam. Manomai Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Manomayi Arpitam Stiram. This is a complete surrender. It is not that because I need to reserve some part of it for my personal. It is without that, without any reservations. Everything surrender unto the Lord. Swadhishnanam ekadeshe manasa pranadharanam Vaikuntalela abhidhyanam samadhanam tadatmanaha. Swadhishnanam ekadeshe. Brahma came to Swadhishnyam asadhya. In the similar way, one has to sit Swadhishnanam ekadeshe at one particular place. Swadhishnanam ekadeshe manasa pranadharanam. And this is called manasa pranadharanam. Meditating on the Lord with its complete mind. Manasa pranadharanam. Vaikuntalela abhidhyanam samadhanam tadatmanaha. Vaikuntalela, the different pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called samadhi. Samadhanam tadatmanaha. Again, pranasya sodayen margam porakumbakarecikaihi pratikulena vachittam yatastiram achanchalam. So these are the steps are given to the great sage, the sages who are trying to execute the devotional service. This is called Bhakti Anushtana. Bhakti Anushtana, it describes in the 28th chapter, canto 28th chapter, in step by step. Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshe Sabhiyasya Nupatmaje Mano Yenaiva Vidhina Prasannam Yati Satpadam. Oh, my dear Dev, Mother Devhuti. So I will describe everything. Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshe Sabhijasya. Starting from the seed. Nupatmaje Mano Yenaiva Vidhina Prasannam Yati Satpadam. And then he describes step by step. Swadharmacharanam sekya vidharmacha nivattanam daivalabdhena santosha atmavicharanachanam gramya dharma nivrittisya moksha dharma ratistata mitamedya adhanam shashvad vivikta kshema sevanam ahimsa satyamaaseyam yavadadha parigraha brahmacharyam tapasocham swadhyayah purusharchanam. These are different kinds of steps that yogi is going. Maunam sadasana jayha stairyam prana janasanaihi pratyaharash indriyanam vishayan manasa hridi swadhishnyanam ekadese manasa pranadharanam vaikuntalila abhidhyanam samadhanam tadatmanaham eteranyisya patibihi mano dushtam asatpadam. एतैरन्यश्यपतिभिः मनोदुष्टम् असत्पदम् बुद्ध्यायुञ्जित शनकैः जितप्राणो हि अतिन्द्रितः शुचोदेशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य विजितासनासनं तस्मिन् स्वस्ति समासीन ऋजुकायः समभ्यसेत्. This is different kinds of steps that Kapila Bhagavan describes everything. What is the first step? And then Suchodesi Pratistapya Jitasanasanam Tasmin Swasti Samasina Rujukaya Samabhise, keeping his body straight perpendicular to the earth and in a straight. And then he says that Jitaswasasya Yoginaha Vayugnabhyam Yataloham Matam Chachiti Vaimalam. And giving, so the way he is meditating, it is Vayugnibhyam Yataloham Matam Chachiti Vaimalam. Whenever the metals, a gold or something, whenever it is heat, whenever it, in order to purify it, there is particular process. I think there is a blacksmith or goldsmith. They have got a particular kind of bellows or something like that. They blow it, and then gradually they, in a very high temperatures, the metal will be melted. All the impurities will go away. Likewise, Vayugnibhyam Yataloham Matam Chajita Vaimalam. It will be purified. One will be personally purified. So in that particular steps, the pranasya sodayena margam purakumbakare jekihi pratipulena vachittam yatatiram achenchalam. Yada manah swam virajam jitaswasasya yoginah. And then, so kastam bhagavato jhayet swanasagra avalokanaha. He has to meditate, keeping his eyes concentration on his tip of his nose, and then meditate on the Lord. So there, in that process, it is pranayama hi dhe doshan dharana bishi kilbishan pratyaharin samsarghan dhyanin anishwaran gunan. Pranayama hi dhe doshan, all kinds of sinful activities will be nullified by the pranayama. Pranayama hi dhe doshan dharana bishi kilbishan. Doshas, and also doshas are the faults, kilbishans are the sinful activities. Pratyahara shindriyanam, retracting all his senses from the materialistic sense gratification. Pratyahara shindriyanam, dhyanena anishwaran gunan. And then dhyana. By the dhyana, so he will come out from the material entanglement. Dhyanin anishwaran gunan. And then he will meditate on these are different steps, and keeping his focus. This is just the preparation, whatever I have said, this is preparation that Kapil Bhagavan describes. Then meditate on the beautiful form of the Lord. What is that one? Prasannavadanam bhojam padmagarbha arunekshanam nilotpaladala shyamam shankachakra gadadharam. Padmagarbha arunekshanam prasannavadanam bhojam padmagarbha arunekshanam nilotpaladala shyamam shankachakra gadadharam. लसत् पंकज किंजल का पीत कौसेयवाससं श्रीवत्स वक्षं भ्राजत् कौस्तुभा मुक्त कंधरं मत्तद्विरेव कलया परीतं वनमालया परार्धहार वलया किरीटांगद नूपुरम्. It is going so beautifully, all this entire chapter of 28th chapter. It is for remembering the Lord. This is called Samadhi. And there, at the end here, Mukta Shrimirihi Nirvishim Viraktam Nirvanam Ruchiti Manha Sahasa Yatarchihi. After so much of beautiful narrations of the how to meditate and the form of the Lord, then at the end, Mukta Shrimirihi Nirvishim Viraktam Nirvanam Ruchiti Manha Sahasa Yatarchihi. So then he will completely detach it from the material world. Nirvana mrichiti manaha sahasa yatarchihi. And then later on he will realize that sopyetaya manasya nivrutam sopyetaya manasya manso nivritya tasmin mahitya navsatah sukha bahye. Then he understands that now I am freed from everything. These are coming and going. This is not me actually. In such a way, he understands that swatman vidatu upalabdha paratma kastaha. Swatman upalabdha paratma kastaha. It is like a swapna. It is a dream. whenever he comes to that particular position. Then tasmadimam from prakritim, there it is it is described swarupena avasitam. He will situate in his original transcendental form, the spiritual body. Duribhavyam parabhavya swarupena avatistate. Swarupena avatistate. That transcendental body. That is what, or the ultimate thing. Here, starting from the concentration of the mind, and then gradually freed from so many other things, and then meditating on the beautiful form of the Lord, freed from all the materialistic things, so that automatically happens. Then the realization and the relationship with Him, to the Supreme Lord, and what he needed to do, because now he has attained Pratibuddha Vastuhu. Pratibuddha Vastuhu is, what is that? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotional service to Him. What he needed to know, he understands that he is servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will engage in the devotional service. That is called Pratibuddha Vastuhu. So this is starting from concentration of mind. And here, to cease from the personal sense endeavors and to concentrate on the supreme cause is a sign of self-surrender. And when self-surrender is present, that is a sure sign of devotional service. Sure sign of devotional service. Each and every living entity needs to engage in devotional service to the Lord if he wishes to understand the ultimate cause of his existence. Swapnam punarna bhajate pratibuddha vastu. Swapnam punarna bhajate pratibuddha vastu. He said dream, because he understands once he attains that pratibuddha vastu. This is the ultimate cause of his existence. So here, Brahma, whenever he is engaging, after that, Lord is going to appear to him, and then he says that, "Oh Brahman," he says, describes that, "Tvayaham toshitah samyak veda garbha chitrukshaya." He says that, "Tvaya toshitah samyak veda garbha chitrukshaya." I am very pleased with you, O Brahma, who is Veda Garbha. You have followed all these injunctions. You ask me all kinds of benedictions from me. And he says that when you were bewildered in your personal endeavors, it is me gave the instructions in your heart. Pratyadishtam maya tatra tvai karma vimohite tapo me hridayam sakshad atmaham tapaso anagha. Tvai karma vimohite. Now you are bewildered in your personal endeavors. At the time, I gave the instructions to you to come back and then meditate upon. How do we understand? So many devotees come to Krishna consciousness. It is not by their personal endeavors. Of course, Krishna is giving the knowledge in their heart. Otherwise, it is not possible for them to come to the Krishna consciousness and engaging in the meditating. What they gain, any material things? There is no material things they are gaining. Instead, they sacrifice their material comforts. So why Krishna is giving the knowledge from their heart when they were bewildered in their material endeavors? Pratyadishta maya tatra tvai karma vimohite tapo me hridayam sakshad atmaham tapaso anagha. O sinless one, meditate yourself under. Again, Brahma, Lord appeared to Brahma and then spoke all these things. Again, he says to Brahma, now again, Bhuyastum tapatista vidhyam chaiva madashriyam. Again, you meditate and then meditate. Madashriyaha, taking shelter of me. There is no reason to go personally and search for the truth in this material world. You do not find that one, because the root is in the spiritual world. To connect to the spiritual world through the devotional service, to the meditation. Then we will go back. This is Tripadasya Mritum Dhivi, and all the three-fourths of the creation in the spiritual world. Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. This material world is Padosya Sarvabhutani. and living entities with the material body, different kinds of material bodies in innumerable universes. It is Pado Asya, just only 1/4 of the creation. Okay, so these are different kinds of statements from the Srimad Bhagavatam and Vedas, Upanishads. Okay, like that, everything is rooting to Vishnoho Paramam Padam Yada Pasyanti Surayah Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam. That Vishnu Pada, that is the where the Lord is existing. Vaikuntha planets. On top of it, all the Vaikuntha planets, it is Golok Vrindavan. So here Maitreya Muni saying to Vidra, how Brahma has written back and started meditating on the Supreme Lord. Tato nivritto aprithilabdha kamaha sudishnyamasadya punaha sadevaha senejita swasa nivritta chitto nishid aruda samadhi yogaha. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Vishnu Jana, January 8th, 1971, Allahabad. Can I request Sanjita Mataji to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. My dear Vishnu Jana Maharaj, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your encouraging letter dated 23rd December 1970. I am very glad to know that things are progressing nicely in Houston. I have seen the flyer and it is nice. Please establish this center firmly, just according to our highest principles of devotional service to Krishna. It is good news that you uh, have now got a house and are remodeling it for the temple. You may immediately arrange an altar for worship of Guru Goranga, and that will be very suitable for the present. Later, you can increase the deity worship, but for the first while, worship the Guru Goranga will be within your present situation very nice. Regarding the college programs you propose to start this month, please carefully do it so that young men and girls may take advantage of this transcendental movement for their ultimate welfare and highest education. Our program in schools and colleges has everywhere been successful, and I am confident that you can also carry on such program with very good results. I'm glad to note that your recent letter uh, I'm glad to note that from your recent letter, the letter under reply, you are feeling better than previously expressed. So when you feel morose, chant Hare Krishna loudly and hear it. This will re-establish you on the platform of transcendental bliss. Sometimes it appears the devotee is put into some difficulty unreasonably, but the devotee does not even take this adverse circumstance as other that a manifestation of the Lord's supreme mercy. Anyway, such feelings come and go like seasonal changes, and we should not deviate for that reason from our prescribed duties. I have just recently replied several letters sent by you some time ago. I hope you have received the reply by now. I am simply counting upon you to faithfully execute your duties in Krishna's service and follow the regulative principles strictly. Then you shall be able to spread this mission to the suffering persons of your country, and that will be the greatest service. I'm so glad that one young couple has already joined with you. Please offer my blessings to them, John and Barbara. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Need care, thanks, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhupada, he's appreciating this devotee, Vishnu Jana Maharaj. for nicely taking up the program in Houston, and things have been progressing well. He has made a flyer, and his goals to spread Krishna consciousness are very solid and firm. And he has managed to get a house, and he's remodeled it, decorated it. And so Prabhupada is saying, deity worship has to be like, it has to follow very strict rules and regulations. So it's better to start the worship of Guru and Gauranga in the altar, spiritual masters and Lord Gaur Nitai. And sometimes Prabhupada says, even if you don't have deities, it's just good to start with the pictures and photos of them. And once it's established nicely, and all the rules and regulations are followed, then you can go up to the next stage of worshipping the deities, and then increase it to the deity worship. And then, of course, to everybody, Prabhupada says, like all his dedicated and sincere devotees, he always asks them to take the program to the college, so that the young men and women, the girls, they can take advantage of this transcendental service, transcendental movement, and that will be because we know that people go to colleges to get the highest education, but Prabhupada is saying here, like, they should take the advantage of this transcendental movement for their ultimate welfare and highest education. So whatever they learn in college and schools, they are like always categorized as material education is avidya. So vidya is knowing Krishna. And our program has been very successful, and he is confident that if he also starts, it will be successful. Because this time we have to remember that during the hippie movement, these wars have been going on in Vietnam and other places, the apartheid movement, and also people as such, the young generation, they were not very happy with what the government was doing. They could understand, like those who were bit sensitive, they could understand that they're being cheated, and they were not happy. They were going into like LSDs and all. So he said, like the college movement, like to engage the young men and girls would be a nice service, and it will give good results. And here we in a while I'll speak about Vishnu Jana Maharaj. He was a bit complex personality, and he must have been more due to some family reasons and all. And he wrote some many letters to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada answered them so patiently. He said the best remedy for this is chant loudly and hear it. So when we hear each syllable of the Mahamantra, then it gives some transcendental bliss. And Supreme Lord, whether if you are in the adverse situation, then the Supreme Lord will always help. Like all these material pains and pleasures, they are like seasonal, and it'll come and go, but we should not deviate from our prescribed duties. And once we follow the regulated principles, then Krishna is there in our heart. He will help, and he will help to spread the mission. And we should be working just over our own, like whether we are in happiness or pain or whatever. The mission of spreading Krishna consciousness is much more than our personal feelings. Like so he's saying that you shall be able to spread the mission to the suffering persons of your country, and that will be the greatest service. So, and in that way, Vishnu Jana Maharaj, he has been able to convince a couple to join him, so like John and Barbara. So he's very pleased about that he can also help in the service. Like he's planning to open the temple, the house he has purchased, so they can help him to do that. That's the main message, Prabhu, in this letter that I was reading about Vishnu Jana. As I like reading about Prabhupada's disciples, what they did, and when I learned about him, it was nice as well as sad at the same time. He was the youngest sannyasi, like he got sannyas at the age of 22. And Prabhupada, when you read his messages, what Prabhupada said about him, like his kirtans were so ecstatic, like everybody, like as if he was, come from the higher lokas to join Prabhupada. Like, Parshad, we say Prabhupada is a Saktavesh avatar, and all his disciples at that time, they were the Parshads. So he was one of the very sincere and dedicated Parshad. He was able to, with his kirtans, he was able to convince so much. He used to do kirtans on the street, in the colleges and temples and everywhere for 8 to 10 hours. And how did he do that? Because initially his fingers used to bleed, like, when you do on the mridanga, the fingers used to bleed. So he used to wear these gardening gloves, and then on the gloves he used to with the tape, like, there's electric tape, the black tapes, he used to cover with little cardboards on each tip of each finger, like little cardboards on the 10 fingers, and then keep on beating the whether it's tanpura. He could play the tanpura, of course, when he was doing the tanpura, not like covering the finger, but when he was doing the mridangam, he used to like cover all his fingers so that they don't bleed. And 8 to 10 hours, like till 1 a.m., till midnight and all, he used to carry on with his ecstatic kirtan. And Prabhupada said, like, he had the power to convince the whole world to chant. Like, he was so devoted. Mm, and so immediately, like, he was given in his and he gave only a few, he did a few preaching, and they was very powerful. And Prabhupada gave him sannyas initiation, and he carried on. He was the one who started, like, he had the plan to take this entire Boeing 747 plane. He booked the entire plane, and the first time when all these hippies, they came, these white devotees, when they came to India, for the first time, they booked the whole plane, the entire plane, they came with devotees. Like, few months back, we were reading, like, when they came here in India to visit the dhams and all, the whole plane was booked. And then he started this concept of the Sankirtan bus party, like Radha Damodar Sankirtan bus party. He used to, like, in India, between cities, he used to like book the entire bus and go from one city to another. And the kirtans were so ecstatic, like, they were penniless, of course. In India it was difficult, but where they slept, so they no place to sleep, they used to sleep, reside in the bus, do kirtans, do book distribution. And his book distributions were very big. Like, he could distribute, this Back to Godhead magazine, selling, like, each person, he could make them sell 12 to 15 in each day, which was big at that time. Like, nowadays, if we try, we can't even sell two in a day. And making them do 12 to 15 in a day, all these devotees, it was a big thing. Everything was going fine, and he was like, during Ratha Yatra, he was very much engaged, like, from making the carts and everything. So he did in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Houston, and all these places. He used to go and continue doing his devotional service, like, mainly for kirtan. But he got separated from his wife. So that was, when he's saying, like, he wrote so many letters to Prabhupada. He wanted to do Krishna consciousness with his wife, but his wife was not interested in the Hare Krishna movement. So he left his wife, and Prabhupada gave him initiation, sannyas initiation, but he was still not happy. So when he used to go to this Ratha Yatra, she used to come for this Ratha Yatras, and he used to try to speak to her. So, some devotees started saying that it's not nice, like, as a brahmachari, you should leave everything and not talk to your wife, like, because you have, like, you do sanskar, like da sanskar, like, as if they are all dead for you. You don't speak to them, and because that is also offense. So, and they told him that it's a fall down, you're having a fall down. So what happened? So when he went to this India trip in Mayapur, Prabhupada was on a morning walk, and he joined, and he was asking, like, what should a devotee do? No, what should a sannyasi do if he has a fall down? So Prabhupada, so there were a few devotees, and he was there. So what he Prabhupada first told that, like Chota Haridas, like, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised Chota Haridas, like him, he committed suicide in Prayag, like, jumping in the Sangam in Prayag. And then, sometimes when Prabhupada speaks, he takes a big pause, and then he speaks again. So Prabhupada, like that, he took a big pause, and then he said, but in today's day, the atonement is like re-establish, get into devotional service. So that's what you should do, and you'll get atonement. But he did not hear this part. So he heard the first part when he said like you should commit suicide. So he immediately left Mayapur and went to Prayag. That's so sad. And then, he paid the Brahmins because he knew, he had the knowledge that if you commit suicide, you'll get a ghost body. So he paid the Brahmins to do his last rite so that he does not get a ghost body. And then he tried a big stone with him, and he committed suicide, and he disappeared from this world. And this Brahmana, then because for him it was quite unusual, like, white body people coming to Prayag and doing this. So he understood that it must be the Hare Krishna movement. So he went to Delhi and told in the temple, he told some devotees, like, somebody has come here and did that. And, I did his Daha Sanskar and all. So they immediately started looking who could, because he did not know his name. So they started looking, where is he gone? So and then he found out that it was Vishnu Janas Swami. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, then he told Prabhupada, and Prabhupada started crying. By that time he was in Bombay, and by that they were shocked to even tell Prabhupada. By so early 77, Prabhupada came to. This happened in late October 1976, and 77 they told Prabhupada, and he started crying. He said, like, why did he do that? And he's and then he could say, in his chanting I could hear that I am feeling in Vaikuntha. In his dream, Prabhupada, he could hear his chanting, and that he said, like, he has not given a ghost body, he's gone to Vaikuntha. So but he was very upset, like, but that's how the movement lost him. But whatever he has done in this, like, 6 years, he got 6 to 7 years, what he has done, like, if you hear his kirtans on YouTube, very ecstatic, you get goosebumps, like every syllable pronounced like a Bengali, like, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come in this age and day and age, spreading the movement. So he was very sincere. And sometimes they used to ask to, like, fund collection, like that is also a service, but he never engaged in that service. He was not into money and all. He was very elevated. So devotees used to complain to Prabhupada that he's not collecting money. So he said he never touched money or anything. All he did is being a sincere servant and faithful servant of Prabhupada, and spread the mission of Sankirtan. So the Sankirtan bus party and all this Sankirtan book distribution, these were all his ideas. Like we see these day and age. These are devotees. We must try to know and understand them. So how in this small little time Prabhupada could do, when we know each of his soldier, then we understand that how this movement. Right, so I just wanted to share with you all this morning. So sorry I've taken a bit of time, but yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautiful, Mataji. It is so inspiring to hear the pastimes of Vishnu Jana. Thank you so much, Mataji. Dear devotees, anyone wanted to add anything?
Just wanted to say thank you to Sanchita Mataji. It's just amazing how much knowledge she has, and thank you for sharing all these wonderful things with us. And we are so fortunate that we are in your association. Thank you, Mataji.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's because of Srila Prabhupada that we are able to hear, associate here, everything because of him. So it's all glories to him. And we feel blessed to be able to, as Prabhu was saying, that it's not by our endeavors, it's Krishna who has brought us in this movement. So we must thank Krishna for that. Hare Krishna.
Any other comments, dear devotees? Radhalakshmi Mataji wanted to add?
No, I just wanted to say, okay, such a wonderful explanation from Sanchita Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for wonderful knowledge what you are having, and also sharing with all of us. And also that Vishnu Maharaj, the complete story denotes, okay, how selfless service he is doing, and also and a very dedicated devotee. So honestly, okay, such a wonderful story of him. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it is bit at the end, it is like kind of heart touching, okay, why he has done like that. But maybe Krishna is calling him, okay, to come back because he completed his service. That's why he went to Goloka Vrindavan. So yeah, but yeah, even I was just positively encouraged. Okay, I need to hear his kirtans after hearing from you, Mataji. So thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing with us. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Ramlal Prabhuji wanted to add anything? Prabhuji?
Actually, I become really amazed. Not actually, no express, another kind of expression actually. Actually, Sanchita Mataji read Prabhupada Lilamrita nicely. And really to hear this story, actually, how much dedication, even Mahaprabhu 500 years before, same thing happened now in this time. Really is very about the example of Sato Haridas, about what happened. Actually, they are always, this is a transcendental there. Although they have little mistake, little fault, but Lord he is very kind to his devotee. He is giving us lesson. Even person can be going down, fall down, or anything else, but to rectify the devotee, he has given sense. He is very kind. Lord is very kind. Actually, to share this thing, actually, I heard also Satori, the story of Satori. This is really how much Lord Mahaprabhu was very, very giving kind. Actually, he was very kind, actually. But Satori that also did as suicide, actually. Because they cannot feel about this separation or any mistake in the devotional service. They cannot tolerate. So really very, it's really very tears coming when is a soft way to understand how much they are at that time, how much they are dedicated and how serious they are, very serious about it, and they follow it very nicely. Really is for us is a great lesson to us. If someone can fall down, yes, it's normal to be fall down. We are doing commit mistake, a lot of mistakes. This is part of our material life. But even though Krishna gave us sons, so we have not to be very serious on one aspect, but another aspect is we have to listen full part. That is what we have to do. What is the second option? Because he did not listen the second option, but it was his Krishna's arrangement, or it is our Prabhupada Lilamrita. We can learn how devotee was very, very serious about it. And it was one, all these devotees coming from west to east, and how it is considered as a white elephant, and all the devotees, the western devotees at that time. Prabhupada bring all white elephants. So, and how much their dedication, how much they did, and it is a transformation. Actually, Prabhupada is a magician. Some people asked, what is the magic for Prabhupada? What he did? Because there is in India, there are many gods. They manifest themselves as a god or his followers showing that this is God. This is God. But what, and then when even a debate, what Prabhupada did, what was he did a special thing. And and people, devotees of Prabhupada mentioned it is we consider how we are the so-called lifestyle is different, but we become transformed, changed. Purity come due to Prabhupada. This is actually magic, great magic, because other the devotee they realize what they did, what was the uh, commit mistake, four kind of mistake actually, alcohol taking or illicit sex, many bad. But how when the purity come, they realize what was previous condition. So, and they were attached for Krishna consciousness. Actually, this is a great lesson. Actually, this Maharaj, actually, although he was very early stage to in the what is the Brahma, what is the goddess, one person, Sannyas, is the earliest took Sannyas. Even though there is something can be happen, but even though at that time the lifestyle at that time they could not understand as this is a beginning of this Krishna consciousness. But even though how they are serious and they correct immediately. That is the two things. One, the devotee has to knowledge, they have to apply it. If any mistake, they have to acknowledge it. And second thing, if they have mistake, they acknowledge means doing, showing their action, their works. So actually, that Maharaj showing his action, well, not only word, he taking action. Actually, it's our great lesson. We have to follow that. If any mistake what we are doing, we have to take action. Purify it. Hare Krishna. Actually, really tears coming. Actually, this is to hear this is this seriously how it is, how they are dedication. Really, Hare Krishna. And many other part, but this part is very important. We have to learn. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. It is the gist that we need to take off from in India, the Bharat Desh. So the sun rises at 6 o'clock, sun sets at 6 o'clock. In a standard, environment is so pleasing and conducive to the devotional service. Yet, 99.99 people they do not take to the devotional service. And in the Western world, people are born to enjoy and materially. It is very difficult to preach Krishna consciousness to those people who are born for enjoyment. Their bodies are strong, fair complexion, all kinds of opulences, all material things like the wealth and facilities, different kinds, they enjoy. But it is not for that easy for them to take Krishna consciousness, which is Nivriti Dharma, coming to devotional service, dedicating. And Prabhupada, in a place where it is not possible, he went from a place from India and then he preached Krishna consciousness there, convinced so many of those disciples, and they have been attracted to Krishna consciousness with Srila Prabhupada's instructions and surrendered themselves. And they have, as long as Prabhupada was there, so many devotees dedicatedly worked. But still, even though they fall down in some places, there is no wrong to point out. There is no wrong in them because they have born for that. Even though we do not have to point out them that they have fallen down, see, look at them. And still, such kind of people came to India again, preaching to the people where they have forgotten their real culture. And still, some people we point, okay, why these people, why need to accept? We do not allow those people in our temples like that. Here, if you see how much dedication here, Vishnu Jaina, so Sanchita Mataji, so it is so inspiring to us. Where are we? And we came from a place where it is spiritually cultured, come to these countries for sense gratification. We wanted to escape. But these people, they wanted to take to that Krishna consciousness, coming to India and preach it so much. Their sacrifices are immeasurable. It doesn't matter they have stayed even 1 year or 1 month. It is immeasurable. It cannot be compared. Such sacrifices. Of course, it is neha vikramana sosti pratyava vinna vidyate. Nothing go vain. Again, they will born as devotees again if they have stopped somewhere. It is just thinking how much sacrifice Ramlala Prabhuji's words and Chita Mataji's explanations. It is so convincing to the heart. We are very fortunate to be here. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees?
Prabhu, I just wanted to say that his age when I had to read three times to find he died at the age of 28. Can you believe? So this makes us understand that we don't live by our age, like living for 100 years and doing nothing is no like in those. So 22, if he got initiation, I'm thinking like in 21 maybe he came to movement. So maybe 7 years or maximum 8 years. I did not find out. So in these 6-7 years, what he did, and I was thinking, how come we did not know about this like great devotee of Prabhupada, Chaitanya, half of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the age of 49 or something, and then he left at such a young age and did so much, like so heart touching, that just because of small misunderstanding. Listening, being faithful and listening to spiritual masters' instruction is very important. But then, as Ramlala Prabhu said, listening to the whole instruction is even more important. But maybe like that was an inspiration. Krishna wanted him back, so he had done what he could do. Like the white, they were like by he was a very thin and tall boy, so but they were called white elephants. Like they were so mighty like the elephant. The way they spread the movement in India. So that's why that book, White Dancing Elephants. So must read the book. Like this along with reading the Shastras, learning about, this question that always like burns in my heart, like how did Prabhupada did? Of course, it's mercy and all, but his soldiers, each and every soldier, when we learn about them, and this somehow I never came across I don't know, maybe Krishna has kept it for today, but never came across Vishnujan Maharaj, never heard about him. Maybe somehow it was hidden because of this incident or something. But when we know that what they were able to do, last part is sad, but like how he did the kirtan, like wearing this idea of we don't even see in today's day also, like 8 to 10 hours kirtan, coming back at 1 o'clock and then getting up again for Mangalarti, and again so 2-3 hours of sleep, and that's it. So all day, like having gloves and then covering, so that earlier his fingers used to bleed, and then he found out this way to do it. So all this young, like Jananda Prabhu, this Maharaj, and then we have Aindra Prabhu, he started this 24 hours kirtan, this concept of 24 hours kirtan, continuous kirtan in Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan. So till day it goes on, the 24 hours kirtan. That was his thing. But he also his house got caught fire, and he he disappeared from this world. He was burned down. His material body got burned down. It was so sad. Again, he did so much for this movement. All these like devotees who have done so much, they left early because just Lord thought whatever they've done, the movement, for that movement, it's enough, and others must carry on. So yeah, just wanted to share that part as Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Samhita Mataji, actually, his body was not burned. Actually, it was due to, it was fog or something else. But they found Andhra Prabhu. Normally, before dying, people, if there's some adverse condition, people want to save their life. They do whatever they want to do. But they found the body of Andhra Prabhu was because in his room, Krishna Balaram was there, and they found Andhra Prabhu was bowing down on the lotus feet of Krishna Balaram. So he was always taking care of the deity, and in his room he was always bowing down. Normally, people before dying, as a normal death, they don't like to do that. They like to agonize, before dying, they like to how to survive, how to do that. But he, at the end point, he was bowing down. So it was also is fog, actually, not actually it was some fire, that is true, but it was some gas inside, and due to that he died.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this.
His
It was
body was
an
completely, as it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe so. Yeah, because he used to do this kirtan, and he was, yeah. I mean, if others who don't know, he was a Russian devotee, and he was. But if you listen to his kirtan, also his pronunciation is like a proper Bengali. Every word, every syllable, he Krishna and everything. I mean, listen to his Indra Prabhu's kirtan also. It's very ecstatic. So he had like lots of electrical devices in his room, in the near Krishna Balaram temple, because he used to record his kirtan and do many things. So it was covered many electrical devices, and I think because of some short circuit from his not laptop, computer and all, it must have caught fire. And so, as Prabhu is mentioning, it was not like fire flames, but that smoke, and maybe he thought it's, I don't know what he thought. So the position, the in Dandavat position, how he was found. So he maybe inhaled that smoke gas, and then he left. So it was not charred like burning, but yeah, I forgot that, Prabhu. Thank you for correcting me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If we have because we are coming to another mode actually, or whatever we read this letter actually is I cannot talk. I was shocked actually. My word was not coming. Actually, and another point also, the Andhra Prabhu, he was also how much he was dedication. His everything, even 24 hours. How is it? We can see the devotee how they are eternally they are doing is a eternal devotees what they are doing 24 hours they are doing. Actually, Andhra Prabhu is another example. And whenever we can hear the sound of Andhra Prabhu, the music, the melody, oh my God, it is really different. It's really ecstasy. Actually, our my you can hear, and then you can realize how much it is. Our hair stand actually is another way, and we can learn how much he was did. Another example of the how to do as a continuous service actually, and with the ecstasy, with the enthusiastic, everything is with him, and very nice devotee and very nice, and to see him to, and this is the recent time, and you can hear that, and it will be it is different kind of another lesson we can learn. Thank you for bringing it. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing again. I interrupt Prabhu as well. Okay, so all devotees, this is Kim Pramattaihi Bahubihi Parokshaihi Hainahiha Varam Muhurtam Viritam Gatate Shreyasayataha. What is the need of living millions of years, extending the life hundreds and millions of years? Kim Pramattaihi Bahubihi Parokshaihi Hainahiha Varam Muhurtam Viritam, just a Muhurta time. Varam Muhurtam Viritam Gatate Shreyasayataha. That is sufficient to attain the perfection of human life. All these devotees, they have dedicated themselves. It is not how long they have lived. All the generations coming down, they will hear about them. And people, there are so many people who are earning so much of money and putting together in the bank balance and living. No one speak, no one is interested because they are self-centered people. They wanted to live for themselves. I want my family, a good comforts. Such kind of people are useless to anyone. And devotees who have dedicated themselves to Krishna, their glories will always be glorified by the next generations. Everyone. Just for example, ourselves here reading about Vishnu Jana. This is one example. Adayendra Prabhu. And we are not talking about some kind of politicians. This is the devotees are always remembered by the pure souls, not by any. Again, there are many other things. This is what our reflections should be. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Pawan Prabhuji wanted to add anything?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And yeah, nothing much to add. I just want to thank everyone actually for completely sharing in detail the background information. So that is giving really good insights how, yeah, the actual devotee, how far he can go for Krishna and how they dedicated their life to Krishna. So that is like a role model for us, like how good devotee we can become, you know. So they have set really good examples for us, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada for sure. So he has given us this foundation, and because of that, we were able to at least hear this Krishna Katha now. So I'm very happy, and thank you, Sanchita Mataji, Ramalamat Prabhuji, and Amma Prabhuji for adding more insights to this letter. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So there are in this age of Kali, people infected with so many things, different kinds of bad habits. We do not go. You stop illicit sex. You stop stop smoking. Stop eating meat. Stop gambling, and don't do bad things. And you do good things. Do charity. Do that one. We don't go and tell all these things. Become vegetarian and don't eat non-vegetarian. We don't say all those things. We simply ask them, be Krishna conscious, be a devotee of Krishna. With one stroke, all these kinds of anarthas will be struck down just with one stroke. Krishna conscious, be a devotee of Krishna. That's all. The Prabhupada was saying to all of his disciples, just be a Krishna devotee. This is sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasate suraha, all qualities. Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji, for kind reflections. That is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So, so nice and blissful to hear. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Chaitanya Charitamrita by ourselves. I think Krishna Keshu Prabhuji is not available. And one more point, so tomorrow evening, Sunday evening, we have got Gita Jayanti and Bhagavad Gita recitations. Now all the chapters are allocated to all the devotees. And also, if any devotees still wanted to recite, and if they're still left over, just requesting like last year, and they can still do recitation in an extended Bhagavad Gita recitation, maybe in the coming week or so, giving an opportunity for them as well. And also, Sham Prabhuji also have got another group, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Very hardly one or two people are coming to Sangha and joining. We also invite more people from them in case if they are interested to recite, just to extend. If there are few people, like 4 people or 5 people, we can accommodate in a Saturday evening Sangha. If there are many people, the full house to recite all 18 chapters, we may just allocate one more evening, like evening 6 to 9 o'clock. So just contemplating, I request dear devotees your opinions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, I didn't get that at all. Are you saying that there are more people who want to recite?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So you are planning to have another evening just for them, yes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if there are around 18 devotees coming together, we can have a full evening, like a full recitation.
Yes.
If there are a few devotees interested, like 4 or 5 people, then we can accommodate within the Bhagavad Gita session.
Within this Sunday session, you mean?
Within Saturday, not this Saturday, coming.
Okay. Oh, I see. The Bhagavad Gita in the evening, the Saturday session. Okay.
Yes, if there are a few people.
Oh, okay.
Is that appropriate, Mataji?
Oh, yeah. Whatever you feel, the alternative is also maybe to do like in a monthly thing where people who have done 1 week, the 1 month, then other people get given a chance the following. If it's done regularly rather than just as a one-off. I don't know, like other groups do, like on Ekadasi, they do this regularly. I don't know. It's whatever you do, Prabhuji, is fine with us. And if, we are happy to give up our sessions as well if you want to accommodate them, because that's fine as well. It's totally fine.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the feedback, inputs. Any other comments, dear devotee?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just kind of one announcement. Like Monday evening, 6 to 10, I think, in Manchester ISKCON, there is a Gita recitation there as well. If anyone is around there, they can feel free to join the temple there as well.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, any other inputs?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, it's a good idea. Like for now, whatever you have suggested, I agree with it. Like for now, if it's because I was seeing the poll, it's not many. So we can accommodate in our Bhagavad Gita Saturday sessions, like and then few chapters if it is like few devotees, and if it's a big like 18 chapters including Shyam Prabhu's group, then that can be allocated. That will be another chance. Like Shakshi Mataji, she wanted to do more, and Indulekha Mataji, they wanted more. So in that way, they also get a chance to do maybe two, if they are interested to do 2 or 3 chapters. Some devotees do like it that way, so that's a good idea. But of course, in that way, 18 chapters needs to be covered. Like more devotees wanting to do more chapters if we don't get 18 chapters. But as you mentioned from Shyam Prabhu's group, we don't see many. But I think Shyam Prabhu will come back in December, early December. So if he can say, maybe you can share with him, and he says in his group, if everybody is interested, then either way it can be done. And also Jaivid Mataji's idea is also good, but for Ekadashi, maybe we can slowly go into that later once everybody is comfortable and done one time, and then they're happy to do, then we can later on commit maybe next year or something. But for now, this is a good idea to give everybody a chance, include everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, any other inputs? Okay, so that is from, okay, so now that we'll just confirming the day, like if it is few devotees, then Saturday, that is 6th of November. Yeah, 6th of December. And if there are full house, around 18 devotees, 18 chapters, then it is the 7th of December. Likewise, we shall plan. Okay, I shall post that one in the group. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so that is from the announcement side. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates you wanted to share anything, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move to the Sri Brahma Samhita. Okay, thank you so much. So now we are in the Brahma Samhita along with Lord Brahma. So understanding and what is happening with the creation. So here in the Brahma Samhita, so Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna is the source of everything. Now here we are coming from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Brahma has emanated from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Okay, so now here, that is one part we are starting from our universe. In the Brahma Samhita, before our universe, so many universes are coming out of the body of Karnadaka Sai Vishnu. How he created further before this one single universe. So that is this Brahma Samhita. So here Mahavishnu, from his left limb, he has created Vishnu, and the right limb Hiranyagarbha Brahma, and Shambhu from his middle of eyebrows, This is Vamangad Ashrij Vishnu Dakshinangad Prajapatim Jyotirlinga Mayam Shambhum Putya Deshad Avashrujat. So the Mahavishnu created these three prototype personalities. They are going to inject their powers, their potencies into all the Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara in each and every universe. They were the prime progenitors. So this is Hiranyagarbha. One is Hiranyagarbha Brahma. He is different from four-handed Brahma. Hiranyagarbha Brahma is different from four-faced Brahma. Our universe is with four-faced Brahma. Different universes, they may be having six faces or 10 faces, 100 faces, like that. It depends on the size of the universe. But for all such kind of Brahmas, Hiranyagarbha Brahma is the prime progenitor. So here, the same Hiranyagarbha is the principle of seminal creating energy of every Brahma belonging to each of the infinity of universes. That is Hiranyagarbha. And Vishnu, he enters into each and every universe as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And then Shambhu, he also enters into each and every. But how they enter, each universe has got a different kinds of pastimes. In our universe, when the Shambhu is appearing, he appears from the eyebrows of the Lord Brahma. When that is how Shambhu has Rudra has appeared, and Brahma gave the name Rudra. And then 11 names of Rudra. There are Ekadash Rudras. He has given those names. Out of this, Lord Shiva is the prominent of this material world. Okay, this is about the Vamangad Ashurid Vishnu Dakshinangad Prajapatim. Further, he describes about the in the Brahma Samhita, Ahankaram Ahankaratmakam Vishwam Tasmadhyetad Vijayata. So the function of the Shambhu in the relation to the Jivas is that this universe enshrining the mundane egoistic principle has originated from Shambhu. So here, because of we have already discussed this part in the previous shlokas, where Shambhu in this universe, he is the first father and mother Durga, Shambhu. They are the father and mother of this universe. So they're like mother is the Durga. Durga is also Sustesiti Pralaya Sadhana Sektireka Chaya Vyasya Bhunani Vipatti Durga. Icchan Rupam Apiyasya Chestate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Durga carries out, and she is the shadow energy of the Lord. Or she is again shadow of Rama Devi. Rama Devi is the internal potency of the Lord. And in order to associate with Durga, the Lord, he goes in the form of a Shambhu. He goes in the form of a Shambhu, just like a milk turned into the yogurt. And yogurt is product of the milk. Similarly, Shambhu is expansion of Krishna. Yataka, this is described later on. Kshiram yatadadi vikar vishesha yoga sanjayate nahi tatah prudagasti hetoho yah sambhutamapi tata samupaiti karyad. Karyad, for that purpose. Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Some people, they say that Lord Shiva and Keshava, Shiva Keshavas. So they are not different, but different. So because Lord Shiva is also expansion of Krishna, but not Krishna. He has got a different particular function. Okay, that one also we have discussed in the last session. They have been delegated for a particular Brahma and Shambhu. They got delegated functions. And whereas the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he comes as Vishnu, he just for the maintenance, creation purpose and destruction purpose, it would not take much time, creation and destruction. But maintenance, it requires a lot, preservation. That one, the Lord only, Vishwam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishik Vidruk. Sujami Tanipto Ham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishwam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Druk. In such a way, the Lord, he comes in the form of Vishnu, he maintains. Okay, so this was discussed in the last session. Now we shall move into the next shloka, the 17th. So here, just before going to shloka recitation, so thereupon the same great personal Godhead, assuming the threefold forms of Vishnu, Prajapati, and Shambhu, entering into the mundane universe, placed the pastimes of preservation, creation, and destruction of this world. This pastime is contained in the mundane world, hence it is being perverted. The Supreme Lord, identical with Mahavishnu, prefers to consort with the goddess Yoganidra, the constituent of his spiritual or chit potency, full of ecstatic strands of eternal bliss, uh, appertaining to his own divine personality. Okay, this is what we are going to see. Sri Brahma Samhita, chapter 5 and shloka number 17. अत त्रिविधैः वेषैः लीलम् उद्वहतः किल योगनिद्रा भगवती तस्य श्रीरिव सङ्गता अतस्तैः त्रिविधैः वेषैः अतस्तैः त्रिविधैः thereupon तैः with those त्रिविधैः the threefold Veshaihi, three forms. Veshaihi, just remember this word. Veshaihi. Those Brahma, Vishnu, the Hiranyagarbha Brahma, and Vishnu and Shambhu. These are Veshaihi. Threefold forms. Trividaihi Veshaihi. Leelam Budvahataha Kila. And Leelam, those pastimes, Budvahataha, carrying on. Kila, indeed. So Mahavishnu. Now what happens to Mahavishnu? Yoga Nidra Bhagavati. And Yoga Nidra Bhagavati, full of ecstatic trance of eternal bliss. Tasya Siriva Sangata. And he is concerted with the goddess of fortune. That is in the Yoga Nidra. That is ecstatic trance of eternal bliss. That is described Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu created, and those three prototype personalities, they further create, maintain, and destroy. Okay, so Atataihi Trividaihi Veshaihi Leelam Udvatah Kila Yoga Nidra Bhagavati Tasya Sririva Sangata. Can I request any devotees to read the translation and purport, please? Asha Mataji, would you like to read?
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Translation.
Translation. Thereupon the same great personal Godhead, assuming the threefold forms of Vishnu, Prajapati, and Sambhu, entering into the mundane universe, placed the pastime of preservation, creation, and destruction of this world. This pastime is contained in the mundane world, hence its being perverted. The Supreme Lord, identical with Mahavishnu, prefers to consort with the goddess Yoganitra, the constituent of his own spiritual potency, full of the ecstatic trance of eternal bliss, appertaining to his own divine personality. Purport. The dislocated portions of the divinity with Prajapati and Sambhu, both identifying themselves as entities who are separate from the divine essence, sport with their respective non-spiritual concerts with Savitri Devi and Uma Devi, the perverted reflection of the spiritual potency. The Supreme Lord Vishnu is the only Lord of the spiritual potency Rama or Lakshmi.
Hare. Thank you so much, Mataji. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami ki jai, Shri Jiva Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, so here again this purport is small purport. Now the dislocated portions of the divinity, that is Prajapati and Shambhu, this is Brahma and Shambhu, both identifying themselves as entities who are separate from the divine essence, but sport with their respective non-spiritual concepts, Achit, with Savitri Devi and Uma Devi. Okay, so that is again Brahma Vishnu, and then the perverted reflections of the spiritual potency. Whereas Supreme Lord Vishnu is the only Lord of the spiritual potency, Rama or Lakshmi Devi, Rama Devi or Lakshmi Devi. Okay, this is just a description of their concepts. Okay, and these are again, one is three forms. Mahavishnu expands into Veshaihi. This is the three forms. Threefold. Trividaihi, Veshaihi. Not much philosophy there. Now further we shall move to the next 18th shloka, where Lord is going to enter into one particular universe, now focusing on one particular universe for our understanding purposes. So here Mahavishnu expands into Vishnu, that Vishnu is going to enter into each and every universe. Sisrukshayam tato nabehe tasya padmu nireyo tannalam hemanalilam brahmanolokam adbhutam. Brahmanolokam adbhutam. Sisrukshayam tato nabehe. So here once the Vishnu enters into universe, and then he is like a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, lies in the Garbhodaka water. And then from his navel, Sisrukshayam tato nabehe, from his navel, Tasya Padmam Viniryayo, the lotus flower emanates. Tannalam Hemanalilam, and Tannalam is its stem, Hemanalinam, like a golden lotus. Hemanalinam, Brahmano Lokam Adbhutam, Brahmanaha of Brahma, Lokam Adbhutam of that abode, Adbhutam, wonderful. Lord Brahma comes from there. So, Sisirkshayam Tatona Tasya Padmam Viniryayo, Tannalam Hemananam Brahmano Lokam Adbhutam. So here the translation, when Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk wills to create this universe, a golden lotus springs from his navel pit. The golden lotus with its stem is the abode of Brahma, representing Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. So here, this is actually Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, I think, but here it is differently mentioned, Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. But it is the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, what we see here. Let me just share that big picture again. Okay, coming to this one. So this is, again, there is a milk version that is called Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. He is a super soul. Again, there is no difference between Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, and Mahavishnu. It is their functions are different. Their functions are different, but same. Vishnu means it is described like who is all pervading. Vishnu means who is all pervading. That is Vishnu, but the same personality in different functions. Same personality, different functions. When the lotus flower coming from his navel, it is Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So many universes are coming from his bodily pores. He is Karunadaka Sai Vishnu. And then he is lying in the milk ocean. He is Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, likewise. Okay, so this is the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu here. He is lying in the milk ocean. And then here, this is the Paramatma. So Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, which is nearer to Dhruvaloka in this universe. And Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, under all planetary systems, there is Garbhodaka ocean that we have seen in the last session about the Pitrulokas and Pitruloka and also the hellish planets. There are 21 to 28 hellish planets. There are above the Garbhodaka ocean under all planetary systems, below the 14 planet systems and above the Garbhodaka ocean. That is where Pitruloka and also these hellish planets would exist. This one we have discussed in the, I think in the last session, I think, teachings of Lord Chaitanya session. So coming back to here, that lotus flower has emanated from his navel pit, the golden lotus within it. When its stem is the word of the Brahma, representing Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Okay, so that is Brahma's planet, Satyaloka. And here, the gold here means the dim reflection of pure cognition. This is Hemanalinam, that golden lotus flower. So there is no philosophy to describe. So devotees, everyone knows that we have already gone through that part. So we have been discussing in the same. Brahma is sitting on the lotus flower in the morning shloka. Tato nivruto apritilabdha kamaha swadishnyam asadhya punaha sadevaha. Swadishnyam, this is the lotus flower. Okay. So he is sitting on that lotus flower. That lotus flower, we are here again, it is described. The Brahma is situated on the lotus flower. And then further, it is described later on. The Brahma, he is coming from the Mahavishnu, but he has got a particular function. So here it is described. It's a little bit of big purport. And I request the devotees, out of these two shlokas here, if you have got any questions, like the first shloka is the Atatais Trividaihi Veshaihi Leela Mudpatha Kela Yoganidra Bhagavati Tasya Srireva Sangata. That is one point, and how the Lord takes into three forms, and then further, in order for the creation purpose, Sisrukshayam, when there was the will to create, Sisrukshayam Tatonabehe Tasya Padmam Vinireo Tanalam Henanam Brahmanulokam Adbhutam. So here, when Vishnu enters into one particular universe as a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu lies in the water, and from his navel lotus flower emanates. Okay, that is when he wills to create Sisukshayam. Okay, so as of this point, dear devotees, if you have got any questions, kindly ask, or you want to share anything, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move to the next shloka as well.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm really sorry, but before I get completely lost, there was one question on Shambhu that I wanted to ask.
Yes,
so, one, when you showed us the picture previously here, you said yes. So, from one part, the left limb, I think, is it Brahma comes out, and the right one, sorry, the other way around. Right one Brahma and left one Shambhu comes out.
Left one Vishnu.
Vishnu comes out. Okay, but the Shambhu that's mentioned, one comes out from the eyebrows of the Lord Brahma.
And Shambhu, he comes eyebrows of the Mahavishnu outside of all the universes.
Okay.
This is outside happening. And then when we go a little bit zoom in one particular universe, that is our universe, within our universe, when Brahma wanted to create, at that time, he creates 4 Kumaras, and then when he asked them to expand the progeny, they were not accepting that. Brahma was angry at that time. Lord Rudra, he has appeared from the eyebrows of Brahma here in our universe. That Shambhu, whenever he comes into our universe through the eyebrows of Brahma, he appeared in this way in our universe. In a different universe, that personalities maybe Lord Shiva may be appearing first and Brahma may be later on. So the different kinds of formations may happen from universe to universe. In our universe, first Lord Vishnu enters and he lies in the Garbhodaka ocean, and Lotus Lord comes, and where Brahma comes and he creates four Kumaras. And then after that, when he was angry, Lord Shambhu appears from the eyebrows of Brahma within our universe.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
And outside universe, Shambhu came from the eyebrows of Mahavishnu.
Okay. And he's the prototype.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions?
Prabhu, when does Sadashiva come out?
So Sadasiva again, another form. Sadasiva here, he is Vishnu. Sadasiva Loka, it is Vishnu Tattva. So that one, where do we see? So here in the one of the Vishnu Tattvas here. There is a Ishana is also there. One of the Vishnu's abodes. So that is what it is described here. Sadasiva Loka, it is in the spiritual planet. It's completely Vishnu. And then Mahakala Dhama. So this is the dim twilight. And Sadasiva, he is going to expand this Mahavishnu whenever he creates. That Sadasiva takes the form of the Shambhu. So let us see that one Sadasiva here. Let us think Sadasiva. Okay. So here in the what is which purport? This is the 43 purport. So here it is described here. The realm of Goloka stands the highest above. Would you like to read Mataji this purport? This is again Golokanam Nijidamni Talechasya Devi Mahesh Haridamanu Teshu Teshu Te Prabhava Nitya Vitashayena Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It is describing about the this is Goloka Dama. Here in the left side, Devi Dama, which is the bottom, on top of Mahesh Dama, on top of Haridama, on top of it, Goloka Dama. So that is the describing that shloka. Within that context, would you like to read the translation and purport as well, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Lotus. Thank you, Prabhu. Lowest of all is located Devi Dhama, mundane world. Next above is Mahesha Dham, abode of Mahesha, and above Mahesha Dham is placed Hari Dhama, abode of Hari, and above located is Krishna's own realm called named Golaka. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allocated the respective authorities to the rulers of those graded realms. Purport, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Is it Prabhupada purport, Prabhu?
It is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami.
No, okay. Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The realm of Goloka stands highest above all others. Brahma, looking up to the higher position of Goloka, is speaking to the other realms from the point of view of his own realm. The first in order in this mundane world is called Devi Dham, consisting of the 14 worlds, Satyaloka, etc. Next above Devi Dham is located Shiva Dham, one portion of which, called Mahakala Dham, is enveloped in darkness. Interpenetrating this portion of Shiva Dham, there shines the Sadashiva Loka, full of great light. Above the same appears Hari Dham, or the transcendental Vaikuntha Loka. The potency of Devi Dham in the form of extension of Maya, and that of Shiva Loka, consisting of time, space, and matter, are the potency of the separated particles pervaded by the penumbral reflection of the subjective portions of the divinity. But Haridham is ever resplendent with transcendental majesty, and the great splendor of all sweetness predominates over all other majestic lokas. The Supreme Govinda, by his own direct and indirect power, has constituted those respective potencies of those realms. Rajiva Goswami ki jai, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai.
Jai. So
Yes,
then,
Prabhu,
would you
yeah.
like to read this line, Mataji?
Yes, so Mahakaladhama is enveloped in darkness. Interpenetrating this portion of Shivadham that shines the Sadasivaloka, which is full of great light.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is
Yes.
Sadasivaloka. It is full of great light. It is which is in the Brahma Jyoti, all spiritual. This is Mahakaladhama. It is described.
Okay, so it is on the other side of the Viraja river. I mean, the entire sphere, if it's half of it is Sadashiva and then other is like on the, does it appear like that, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. I also had another question, Prabhu. I think because I missed the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, you were mentioning. So in the picture, you said there are 28 other hellish planets. Is it? I mean, between Garbhadaksha ocean and the 7 planets. So is it that one, Patala Loka,
Yes, Mataji.
between them?
Yes, and the other day I have shared those pictures when you were asking about the what is that one? Meru Mountain, top of the Meru Mountain.
Yeah, okay.
So those pictures were shared. Out of those pictures that we have discussed the Pitruloka. This one. Which day it was? Around
I think it was last Saturday, Prabhu.
Saturday, Mataji. Okay, I think.
Oh no, I thought you discussed something on the weekly session.
Yes, Mataji, but the pictures were the previously shared. I'm just trying to bring that picture.
Pictures, Prabhu, like if you search from the media, it's much easier to find that way.
Media.
I don't know on the laptop, but maybe these 3 dots on the right.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yes. This is the planet. So here, if we see the 28 hellish planets and Pitruloka is here. Pitruloka here,
Okay.
the
So
green bit is the
I
Pitruloka.
missed that. But okay, yeah. So between Patala Loka and Garbhadaksha, like Vishnu, it's like between them, it's these 28 hellish planets. Yeah.
Yes.
So these after the Bhuloka, all these Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, are these not the hellish planets? I thought they were the hellish
No,
planets.
they are bottom planets and they are not hellish planets.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So yeah, there was my confusion. Okay, Prabhu. So they're the bottom planetary system. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. This is again
So
side
how
view.
come, Prabhu? So how come Pitraloka is also? I mean, it's a separate loka, or it's like
It is a separate loka. It is not one of the hellish planets.
hellish planets. So
Hmm.
after Patala Loka, looks like in the picture, it's Pitraloka, and then the hellish planets, even lower. Looks like.
It is like the southern part of the Bhumandala, these 28 hellish planets. In the pictorial representations, it is mentioned like that in the southern side of it.
I think I will listen to that video, my TOVP video. Maybe it's okay. I heard it 2-3 years back, so I forgot. So I'll listen to that again. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is coming to here. That is Lord Mahavishnu. He creates 3 prototypes and then he engages himself in the Yoga Nidra. And these 3 prototypes, they will engage the Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. And then so many other universes in charge of all other universes, how they need to be maintained. Okay, any other questions, dear devotees? Then now coming back to the 18th shloka. 18th shloka is just done. And then further in the 19th shloka, so here what it is going to happen. Before their conglomeration, the primary elements in their nascent state remained originally separate entities. Non-application of the conglomerating process is the cause of their separate existence. Divine Mahavishnu, primal Godhead, through association with his own or spiritual potency, moved Maya, and by the application of the conglomerating principle, created those different entities in their state of cooperation. And after that, he himself concepted with Yoga Nidra by way of his eternal dalliance with his spiritual potency. I think this purport is a bit, sorry, the translation itself, it is a bit tricky to understand. So we shall recite the shloka and then we go into the inside of it. Sorry. So here in this shloka, it is Tattvani Purvarudhani Karanani Parasparam Samavaya Prayoghasha Vibhinani Prutak Prutak Tityakya Sajjamanota Bhagavan Adi Purushaha Yojen Maya Devo Yoga Nidram Akalpayat Tattvani Purvarudhani. Purvarudhani is the previously created. Tattvani, the elements. Purvarudhani, the previously created elements. Karanani Parasparam. Karanani is the causes, Parasparam, and mutually. Karanani, Tattvani Purvarudhani, Karanani Parasparam. Samavaya Prayoghacha Vibhinnani Prutak Prutak. Samavaya. Samavaya is the process of conglomeration. So now, the Lord Brahma, he has emanating in the previous shloka. The Brahmaloka has appeared from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Now further it is described here. The Samavaya Aprayoghat of the process of conglomeration and from the non-application Samavaya Aprayoghasha Vibhinnani Prutak Prutak in a separate Prutak from one another. Prutak Tityakya with his spiritual potency, Sajjamanaha associating, Ata, so then Bhagavan Adipurushaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adipurusha, the primal Godhead, Yojan Maya, and causing to join Maya with Maya, Devaha, the Lord, Yoga Nidra, Akalpayat, he consulted with the Yoga Nidra, Brahmadev. And then further it is described describing here the Lord is this is called internal potency of the Lord, Yoga Nidram. So Yojan Maya Devo Yoga Nidram Akalpayat. So can I request another devotee to read translation and purport? Yes, Mataji.
Before the conglomeration, the primary elements in the nascent state remained originally separate entities. Non-application of the conglomerating process is the cause of their separate existence. Divine Mahavishnu, primal Godhead, through association with his own spiritual chit potency, moved Maya, and by the application of the conglomerating principle created those different entities in the state of cooperation. And after that, he himself consorted with Yoga Nidra by way of his eternal uh, dal- deliation, with his spiritual chit potency, purport. Maya मयत्यक्षेण प्रकृतिश्च श्रूयते सचराचरम्. Bhagavad Gita 9.10. The mundane energy Prakriti gives birth to this universe of animate and inanimate beings by my direction. The purport of this sloka of the Gita is that Maya, the perverted reflection of spiritual chit potency, was at first inactive, and her extension of matter constituting the material cause was also in the separately dislocated state. In accordance with the will of Krishna, this world is manifested as the resultant of the union of the efficient and the material cause principle of Maya. In spite of that, the Supreme Lord himself remained united with his chit potency Yoga Nidra. The word Yoga Nidra or Yoga Maya indicates as follows. The nature of chit potency is manifestive of the absolute truth. With the nature of her perverted reflection, Maya is envelopment in the gloom of ignorance. When Krishna desires to manifest something in the mundane ignorance wrapped affairs, he does this by the conjunction of his spiritual potency with his inactive non-spiritual potency. This is known as Yoga Maya. It carries a twofold notion, namely transcendental notion and mundane inert notion. Krishna himself is subjective portion, and those jivas who are his unalloyed, separated particles. Realize the transcendental notion in that conjunction while conditioned soul feel the mundane inert notion, the external coating of transcendental knowledge in the conscious activities of conditioned souls bear the name of Yoga Nidra. This is also an influence of the chit potency of the divinity. This principle will be more elaborately considered hereafter. Srilaji Goswami ji ki jai, Siddhant Bhakti Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. That's why when we are reading Prabhupada's purports, they're a bit easier, and we can, Prabhupada, instead of presenting them as it is, he has digested and he has given so many of these descriptions the way which we can easily understand. So they here in those days when Bhaktivedanta Saraswati's time and Jiva Goswami's time, they understand Sanskrit very easily, and they will all speak in only the Sanskrit as much as possible. They don't need any separate explanations or translations and purports. And later on, when people are becoming more and more ignorant and they could not understand, addicting to these material educations, and there where the Sanskrit is less prominent. At the time, it is kind of a mystic. What Sanskrit means mystic. Those times, their words are very high level. That conversations are very high level. Immediately understand. They don't need separate explanations. So here, the Lord is staying, consulting with Yoga Nidra by his eternal dalliance with spiritual potency. The words are very beautiful here. The first time we are exploring so many of those things. I don't know what is dalliance here in. So definitions in the causal, romantic, or sexual relationship. Okay. Eternal with his spiritual potency. That is Yoga Nidra. And then here in this purport, the Krishna says, Maya Jakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Mundane energy, Prakriti gives birth to this universe of animate and inanimate beings by my direction. And then further, shloka of the Gita is that Maya. The purport of the shloka of the Gita is that Maya, the perverted reflection of the spiritual potency, was first inactive and her extension of matter, constituting the material cause, was also in the separatedly dislocated state. This is dislocated state. Dislocated is, if you look at into this one, this map again, coming to here, all the spiritual, the souls are in the form of so many universes. These are golden excels is full of spirit. All the souls, collection of the souls. What happens to them? It is not the matter at this stage. Okay, it is completely soul. It is nainam chintan shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati marutaha. This is the eternal living entities, all these golden cells. And they come in contact with Mahatattva. Mahatattva is all kinds of ingredients. Then it will, this golden egg cells, again, it is enveloped by these metal ingredients, and the very strong, the layers will form on top of that. And these universes are, it is said that here in this purport, it is the separately dislocated state. Separately dislocated state. Now, all the souls come in under the clutches of the Maya or Mahatattva, and they're wrapped up. They cannot escape. Entangle here. This is called entanglement. And now, what is the freedom? Means going out of the universe, entering into the Brahma Jyoti, entering into the spiritual planets. Okay, that is the freedom. Otherwise, they are entrapped here. And these universes are in the dislocated state. Okay, so here the perverted reflection of the spiritual potency was first inactive, and her extension of matter constituting the material cause was also in the separately dislocated state. In accordance with the will of Krishna, this world is manifested as the resultant of the union of the efficient and material causal principles of Maya. So this is material world is one is the matter, and then is one is the spirit. When they come together, so many things would happen in this material world that we can perceive with our senses, which we cannot perceive with our senses. Those things will go on in the eternal spiritual planets. And further that, in spite of that, the Supreme Lord himself remains united with his chit potency, Yoga Nidra. So this is Name Karmanti, Name Karmani Limpanti, Name Karma Pale Spruha. Krishna says that I'm not entangled. I do not have any desire to do any activities at all. Name Karmani. limpanti name karma phales praha. I do not desire anything in this material world. But still, I carry out my duties because to show as a role model to everyone. Yad yada chariti sreshtaha tatta devetaro naraha. For that purpose, Krishna does. And here in the spiritual, he is always either in the Mahavishnu, he is in the remains united with his chit potency, Yoga Nidra. And the word Yoga Nidra or Yoga Maya indicates as follows. The nature of the chit potency is manifestive of the absolute truth. This is Radha Krishna, they are only one personality. Radha Krishna Pranay Vikriti Hladini Sekti Rasmad Ekatmana Vapi Bhupura Deha Bedam Gatautau. They are only Ekatma. They are only one particular person. It's Krishna only. But here in this material world, they appear into two different personalities as Krishna and Radha. Krishna expands himself as Krishna and Radha, and they perform different parts. Ekatmanavapi bhuvi pura deha bedam gatautau. The two, they have appeared, Krishna has appeared as two personalities. One is Krishna and Radharani. Before that, only Krishna was there. And then again to perform Chaitanya's pastimes. Chaitanyakyam Prakramadhana Tadbhayam Chaikimaptam, and to perform Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes, again those personalities became one. Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Adhuna Tadbhayam Chaikimaptam. Radha Bhavad Vyuti Chulitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam, taking the complexions of Radharani, the golden complexion. That's why we call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gauranga, Gaurahari, golden complexion, and Radha Bhava Jyuti, Radha Bhava, the mood of Radharani, Radha Bhava Jyuti, Sulitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam, I am offering my obeisances onto Gauranga, who is in the mood of Radharani. Radharani is always after Krishna. So here, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes Jagannath Puri, and where Jagannatha, he says in the Radha Bhava, in the mood of Radharani, oh my Lord, he is here, Jagannatha. Likewise, he approaches and he dances in front of his Lord. That is Radha Bhava. And here, he always in the, that is Hladini Sikti. Radha Krishna Pranay Sikti, Radha Krishna Pranay Vikriti, Hladini Sikti Rasman. That is internal potency, that is Yoga Maya. While the nature of her perverted reflection, Maya is envelopment in the gloom of ignorance. This is like a relationship of material boys and girls in this world. They are attracted to each other. That is the perverted. Buddhamulam adeshakam ashwadham prahuravayam. Chandams yasya parnani yastam veda saveda ved. This is perverted reflection. Okay, so and when Krishna desires to manifest something in the mundane ignorance wrapped affairs, he does this by the conjunctions of his spiritual potency with his inactive non-spiritual potency. So whenever this is Krishna performs his pastimes like in the Sharad Purnami time. In the Sharad Purnami time, in the 10th canto, it is described when he wanted to desire to dance with the gopis, he invokes the Yoga Maya. He invokes the Yoga Maya and he expands himself to dance with all the gopis. Okay, so that is also described here. I think that comes as before, I think, 29th chapter, something like that. 24. I think 29th chapter, I think. 29th chapter. 29, so 29, 30, 31, 32, or 33, I think. 33. So there it is described like this is what is that means. Yogamayam Upashritaha. This is the Bhagavan api taratrihi Sharadutpulla Mallikaha. Vikcharantum Manaschakre Yogamayam Upashritaha. Yogamayam Upashritaha. The actual word is Yogamayam Upashritaha. It is a 1029 shloka number 1. There, Sukadeva Goswami describes Bhagavan api taratrihi on that particular night, in the Sharad Purnami night. So it is Kartik Purnami. It is gone before Kartik Purnami. It is a Sharada Purnami, Sharad Purnami. On that particular night, the Lord wanted to dance with the gopis. Viksharantam Manaschakre. He wanted to dance. Yogamayam Upasritaha. Then he has expanded his Yogamaya potency. So this is when Krishna desires to manifest something in the mundane ignorance, wrapped affairs, he does this by conjunctions of the spiritual potency with his inactive non-spiritual potency. So Krishna is complete spiritual body. He does not take pleasure in with the mundane bodies at all. So that is one point to understand. And here, this is known as Yogamaya. It carries a twofold notion, namely transcendental notion and the mundane inert notion. Otherwise, how do we understand in this material world? This is Maya Shritanam Naradharakena. Again, here Sukadeva Goswami says that Dasyam Gatanam Paradhaivatena Maya Shritanam Naradharakena Sakam Vijurhu Krutupunya Punjaha. They're very pious souls who are associating with the Krishna there. Here, this is mundane inert notion. Otherwise, we cannot understand whenever he is doing in the Golok Vrindavana, we cannot understand and perceive anything at all unless he does it, which we can understand little bit of our material senses as well. Of course, we cannot understand that, but that is how it is slowly transcend. From material perspective, we understand, and then later on, we enter into the spiritual perspective. It's the gradual understanding. Okay, Krishna does that. It carries a twofold notion, namely transcendental notion and mundane inert notion. Krishna himself, his subjective portions, and those jivas who are his unalloyed separated particles realize the transcendental notion in that conjunction, while conditioned souls feel the mundane inert notion. People who cannot understand, they only think that, okay, this is just boy Krishna and he's dancing, he has got so much of affairs with the gopis like that. That is the conditioned souls. Whereas the realized souls, they understand into the transcendental notion. Okay. And further, the external quoting of the transcendental knowledge in the conscious activities of conditioned souls bears the name of Yoga Nidra. This is also an influence of the chit potency of the divinity. This principle will be more elaborately considered hereafter. Okay, this is the purport. Again, here in overall, what it means, Mahavishnu, he is associating with his chit potency or Ramadevi in the Yoga Nidra. And those other personalities, 3 personalities are created, they will be carrying out Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya in each and every universe. And here again describing a little bit of more about what is Yoga Nidra, what is Yoga Maya, and how the conjunctions of the material and the spiritual, and how Lord will expand his Yoga Maya and perform his pastime so that it will be understandable for everyone, either conditioned souls or non-conditioned souls. Conditioned souls understands in the different way, in a mundane inert notion, but whereas spiritual people, they understand in transcendental notions. It's a bit of tricky words sometimes, but we keep carrying on. But Lord, in a high level, Lord does all his activities through Yogamaya, internal potency. Okay, I stop there. I request the devotees, if you have got any questions or you want to share anything, kindly ask questions or kindly share.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You know the sentence where it says, when Krishna desires to manifest something, that sentence, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just there. Yeah. Where it says, in conjunction of a spiritual potency, so that would be Rama Devi.
Yes.
And his inactive non-spiritual potency would be, here it says Yog Maya, or is it Mahamaya?
With his inactive non-spiritual potency, it is the this is the Mahamaya.
Yes. So when it's inactive, it's Mahamaya.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Yog Maya is which one then?
So Yogamaya is the Radharani.
Radharani. That one, yes. The Hladini Shakti you were talking about.
Yes, Kladini Shakti, yes.
Yeah.
This one, it is like when it is coming here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, there Sukadeva Goswami describes how whenever Krishna is dancing here, 29 and chapter here, Shri Badarayani Uvacha. So Bhagavan api taratrihi Sharad Utpulab Mallikaha Viksharantum Manaschakre Yogamayam Upasritaha. So Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Personality of God, full in all opulences. Yet, upon seeing those autumn nights scented with blossoming jasmine flowers, he turned his mind toward loving affairs. To fulfill his purposes, he employed his internal potency. This is Yogamayam Upashritaha. His spiritual potency that makes the impossible possible. Upashritaha, he resorting to. So there, there's so much of explanations by Srila Prabhupada, how it is, the Yogamaya is described. Okay, but here, dance again, Prabhupada is giving all the elaboration things. Would you like to read the first paragraph, Mataji, so that you would understand what could be expected in the further of this purport?
Yes, thank you, Hare Krishna. As we begin the famous narration of Lord Krishna's Rasa dance, a dance of love with beautiful young girls, questions will inevitably arise in the minds of ordinary people regarding the propriety of God's romantic dancing with many young girls in the middle of a full moon autumn night. In his description of the Lord's Rasa dance in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada painstakingly explains the spiritual purity of these transcendental activities. Those advanced in the science of Krishna, the great teachers or acharyas, leave no doubt that Lord Krishna is full and satisfied in himself, free of all material desire, which is, after all, a sense of incompleteness or lack. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, a dance of love with the beautiful young girls. Okay. And here, the questions will inevitably arise in the minds of ordinary people in regarding the potency of the gods' romantic dancing with many young girls in the middle of full moon autumn light. Immediately, how we understand? Immediately it will struck our minds in the materialistic way. That is called, here it is, inactive non-spiritual potency in conjunction. So condition at the moment, conditioned souls, how do they understand? They need the path bridge from the one side of the path river to another side. We need a bridge. We need a bridge. We need to look at what is the other side, and we need a bridge, trying to understand that there is something to cross. So this is how mundane in this material world, people they understand in their own ways. the conditioned souls. And whenever try to understand Krishna's pastimes closely, coming nearer to Krishna's pastimes closely, then they understand that this is not ordinary mundane dance. Then it comes like a spiritual potency. When they really see it is spiritual potency, it appears that it is that's why it is conjunction. He does this by the conjunction of spiritual potency with inactive non-spiritual potency. Here, this purport is given by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Srila Prabhupada, he has done up till 13 chapters of 10th canto. After that, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they have continued in the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has completed Krishna book. If we wanted to see Krishna book and what Prabhupada is describing, then we need to see the Krishna book. It is when Prabhupada was present, he has completed that one, Krishna book before, and taking that Krishna book and mood of Srila Prabhupada's previous purports, Prabhupada's disciples, they have given these explanations, the purports for this particular shloka. So here, Srila Prabhupada is describing here, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that Rasa dance took place on the full moon night of the Sharad season from the statements of previous chapters. Okay, can I request another Mataji to read this paragraph, first paragraph? This Prabhupada's purport and Prabhupada's explanation. Do you have Rajyalakshmi?
In Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes,
shall I read, Prabhuji?
yes, Mataji.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that Rasa dance took place on the full moon night of Sarath season. From the statements of the previous chapters, it appears that festival of Govardhana Puja was performed just after the dark moon night of the month of Kartika. And thereafter, the ceremony of Bharta Vithiya was performed. Then the wrath of Indra was exhibited in the shape of the torrents of rain and hailstones, and Lord Krishna held up Govardhana hill for 7 days until the 9th day of the moon. Thereafter, on the 10th day, the inhabitants of Vrindavan were talking among themselves about the wonderful activities of Krishna, and the next day Ekadasi was observed by Nanda Maharaja. On the next day, Dwadasi Nanda Maharaj went to take bath in gangs and was arrested by one of the men of Varuna. Then he was released by Lord Krishna. Then Nanda Maharaj, along with the cowherd man, was shown the spiritual sky. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shall I read the next one also, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
In this way, the full moon night of the Sarath season came to an end. The full moon night of Ashwina is called Sharat Purnima. It appears from the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna had to wait another year for such a moon before enjoying the Rasa dance with the gopis. At the age of 7 years, he lifted Govardhana hill. Therefore, the Rasa dance took place during his 8th year. From the Vedic literatures, it appears that when a theatrical actor dances among many dancing girls, the group dance is called a rasa dance. When Krishna saw the full moon night of Sarath season decorated with various seasonal flowers, especially the Mallika flowers, which are very fragrant, he remembered the gopis' prayers to goddess Katyayani, wherein they prayed for Krishna to be their husband. He thought that the full moon night of the Sarath season was just suitable for a nice dance, so their desires to have Krishna as their husband would then be fulfilled. The words used in this connection, Srimad Bhagavatam, are Bhagavan Api. This means that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus has no desire that needs to be fulfilled, because he is always full with 6 opulences, he still wanted to enjoy the company of the gopis in the rasa dance. Bhagavan Api signifies that dance is not like an ordinary dancing of young boys and young girls. The specific words used in Srimad Bhagavatam are Yegmayam Upasret, which means that the dancing with the gopis is the only platform of Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya. The dancing of young boys and girls within the material world is in the kingdom of Mahamaya or the external energy. The rasa dance of Krishna with the gopis is on the platform of Yoga Maya. The difference between the platform of Yogamaya and Mahamaya is compared in the Chaitanya Charitamrita to the difference between the gold and iron. From the viewpoints of metallurgy, gold and iron are both metals, but the quality is completely different. Similarly, although the Rasa dance and Lord Krishna's association with the gopis appear like the ordinary mixing of young boys and girls dance, but the quality is completely different. The difference is appreciated by great Vaishnavas because they can understand the difference between the love of Krishna and lust.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very nicely explained, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so here, coming to this particular, this shloka is described by further taking those statements of Krishna book, Prabhupada disciples, they carried out the rest of the purport. Okay, and coming back to Brahma Samhita, in the Brahma Samhita, here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami took the mode of Jiva Goswami, and then he is mentioning this is the conjunction of spiritual potency with his inactive non-spiritual potency. Otherwise, we cannot understand if everything is straight away. Now we are coming to Krishna consciousness and trying to understand little bit, and gradually we are absorbing the mode, purifying ourselves. Then we understand what all everything is. But here in between, the conjunction. Hope that makes sense, Mataji. Jai Vedanta.
Oh yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you. And it did help the reading the chapter, Canto 10, chapter on the Krishna's dance. Thank you. The Rasa dance.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other questions, dear devotee? Any other thing which is taking your mind you wanted to ask or you wanted to share? Okay, there are no questions, no sharing. Then we shall conclude.
Prabhu, quickly, can I ask, Prabhu, why is, I don't know, I mean, of course, we're reading it as a philosophy, but why is it the chit potency and not the ananda potency, like of Krishna? Like, he's performing this pastimes when we connect it to the rasa dance, and also it's basically for transcendental pleasure. So why is it? I mean, would you?
I think we have already gone through that, Mataji. So here, this is Ananda Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavita. Again, coming to again the first shloka. I think the second shloka is the Sahasrapatra Kamalam. Third shloka, it describes about the Lord's Premananda Mahananda Rasena Avhitam Hiyat. So this is Kannikaram Madhyantram Shatkonam Vajrakelakam Shadanga Shatpadisthanam Prakuritya Purushena cha Premananda Mahananda Rasena Avhitam Hiyat Jyotirupena Maruna Kama Bijena Sangatam. So here Premananda Mahananda Rasena Avhitam Hiyat. Krishna is situated within that. Now, in these descriptions, coming from down, further gradually entering into the description of the Goloka Vrindavana, later on about this material creation, Mahavishnu. Whenever it comes to Mahavishnu, he is engaging in the Yoga Nidra. Krishna is in the Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabihi. And here Mahavishnu is in the Yoga Nidra. Do we see that whenever Vishnu is dancing with the gopis, we do not see?
No. His half eyes closed, and he's in that mode. So his God is in the conscious person. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Now I can connect. I just somehow lost that connection in between. Now it makes sense. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Like lots of nice discussions we had today. And especially trying to understand this part through, like, we're seeing 3 different generations of explanation just on this. Like, first we have, in fact, 4 generations, Jiva Goswami, and he explained. Then, of course, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did not need so many explanation. He understood from Sanskrit, as you mentioned. They're more intellectual and intelligent to understand that. But the way he gave explanation, even that was these explanations is difficult. And then Prabhupada absorbed all that, and he made it simpler for us. And then he did in the Krishna book, and then his disciples, like 4 generations we see, and then his disciples. He said painstakingly Prabhupada has explained, and they are from that they're explaining. So different moods we see trying to explain the same thing. And yeah, now we're reading it, so just trying to absorb it. So it's so beautiful and blissful. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your time and like explaining everything and discussing. So again, let's all say 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari.
Devotees. Thank you so much, Mataji. So it is all Prabhupada's mercy and devotees association. We carry on, keep carrying on. Thank you so much. We shall conclude. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namo Ananta Koti
Anantakoti
Vaishnavindra ki
Vaishnavindra ki jai.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone. Krishna.